In one of these houses lives Rita Igashova. She is a tailor by trade. Her husband and 2 of her 5 children live and work in Russia. She also spent several years there. Together with her daughter, Saltanat, she is taking the bus to work at the market. Here, Rita owns a small shop selling lingerie, bought with savings from her work in Russia.
Без России, мне кажется, мы не сможем жить. Все равно.
I don't believe that Kyrgyzstan can survive without Russia. All the former countries of the CIS should be on friendly terms, and they should maintain these important links in the future. Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, all of them. Over 2 million Kyrgyz are Russian citizens and are working there. My daughter and my son have decided to stay there. Every family has someone who works in Russia, whether it's the husband, wife, daughter or son.
Islam in the country is a recently revived legacy of pre-Soviet times. Nearby is an imposing Russian Orthodox church. National heroes from centuries past are revered, as are others from the more recent Soviet era. Kyrgyzstan has 6.5 million inhabitants. 800,000 of them are ethnic Russians. Alongside Kyrgyz, Russian is also an official language here. Rita cannot understand why so many of her fellow Kyrgyz are embracing Islam. Under pressure from Muslim men, more and more women no longer go out to work, instead accepting to stay at home and be housewives.
Мне кажется, при Советском Союзе
I think women's rights were better in the Soviet Union. Women were more equal. Today, women are becoming more religious, wearing headscarves or veils. I don't like that. They don't have a voice anymore. Do you understand? They have no identity.
The south of the country is home to many Uzbeks. In the past, there have been outbreaks of violence between them and the Kyrgyz. One reason, their differing expressions of religious faith. The Uzbeks tend to follow a very strict interpretation of Islam, while the Kyrgyz are more moderate.
Islam is important for everyone, but of course it mustn't be too strict. No, not too strict.
Religion. The most important thing is our humanity. Religion is secondary to that. Today, Islam is allowed to shine again in Kyrgyzstan. In Jalalabad, the imam is the Uzbek Alaya Madaliyev. He completed his theology studies back in Soviet times. As imam, the 66-year-old is not only a religious leader, but also a kind of mayor in his local district.
In my opinion, life in the Soviet Union was good. There was religious freedom, and religion was valued. The state didn't interfere, and it respected religious boundaries. They didn't monitor us as much and tell us what to do. A proper religion was preached. There were no banned or terrorist organizations back then, no Hezbis, Wahhabis, or Salafists. And we never preached anything that was forbidden. We taught how to pray correctly and how the faithful should treat one another. But today, there are more extremist organizations, and the state must be more careful.
Kyrgyzstan defines itself as a secular state. Yet there's no telling how strong an influence a radical form of Islam could become here. Imam Madaliyev preaches a moderate interpretation of the faith. Every Friday, the mosques are full.
Religious freedom in Kyrgyzstan is very good. Other countries don't have this level of religious freedom. There are no barriers to practicing our faith. There's a mosque in every neighborhood here.
In the atheist Soviet Union, the imam was a civil servant and earned a monthly salary. Today, he earns his income through the mosque's own bakery and a butcher's shop. He receives donations and runs a small farm. Even he, the imam, must head out to the fields after work each day to gather hay. This is the reality of life for a religious leader in Kyrgyzstan. Alaya Madaliev misses the Soviet Union.
In the Soviet Union, everyone was equal. Rich and poor were on the same level. Even I, as an imam, earned 80 rubles a month. These days, everyone is divided up into rich and poor.
Back in the capital, Bishkek, this building houses the headquarters of a local NGO. One of the activists is Dinara Oshurakhunova. These women are campaigning for more democracy and against corruption.
У нас, к сожалению, коррупция достигла очень большого размаха.
Corruption here has reached new heights. It's out of control. The people in power are there, in my opinion, primarily to enrich themselves and not to govern or to help the country. They want to turn politics into a business opportunity for themselves.
The fact that an NGO can publicly promote its goals in this way distinguishes Kyrgyz society from other countries in Central Asia. But Dinara, a Russian language teacher by profession, wants to get even more involved. She supports the new Reform Party because, as she says, there are too few truly democratic parties in Kyrgyzstan.
At the last elections, there were 78 different parties on the ballot, but only 3, 4 or 5 of them are democratic and liberal, and that is concerning. That's why such new parties are important. There is a demand for more new parties in our society.